In our previous video here, we successfully created one of the React project and also we have created another Laravel project, right? So both of these is now running perfectly. So friend, as I told you before, in our this project strategy, that will be we'll create one of the web application, and also at a time we will make this web application delivered to the browser with the app, Android app, and also the iOS app, right? So here we have to maintain everything with the progressive web applications feature. So here we have to maintain it. So everything step by step will be very clear to you, friend. So if you want to manage your app, then we have to work in our React project, into the React project that is a public, and you can see that is one of the file as a manifest.json. So with this manifest.json, you can actually allocate your app everything. You can allocate your app name, your app short name, and also there is start URL. What exactly will be your start URL when this app will be running, then display, and the theme color and the background color. Okay, and also there would be different type of images. So images will be needed because your app images should be supported in multiple platform, right? So for the reasons here, if you go to one of the exercise files, so friend, after end of this course, I will share this exercise file to you. So whatever the things that we'll do for build our e-commerce project, everything I will save in particular that exercise file. Okay, so after end of this course, I will share this file with you. So here I have already created one of the folder as a website asset, and there is the images, and then there is the icon. So friend, here I have already created some of the icons. So that will be all that our app icon. Like I created some of the different type of resolution, that is a 70 by 70, and there is a 96 by 96, and also there is a 120 by 120, the 128 by 128. Okay, so different type of actually sizes I am actually added in here. So that will be needed. So that there is all the PNG file. So here I simply load it. So now I want to allocate everything for our app, because at a time we have to actually develop our web version, and also we have to develop our Android or the iOS app versions, right? So let's do that work. For doing this, we have to manage everything. So friend, first of all, as I told you, first of all, I want to work in our front end, and then we will actually manage all the things from our backend. So backend we will use that Laravel, and in our front end we will use that pure React. Okay. So if you want to do that work, first of all, I want to do in our main, there is a manifest.json here. I want to update something. Why I'm actually updated that things, everything will be more clear. Don't worry about it. Okay. Like there is a start URL, the display, the theme color. So better I want to take it. Okay. I cut it from to this position, and you can see it's automatically shows some of the error because of all they have some of the comma. So I don't need this comma. I remove it, which is totally fine. And then here first of all I want to paste it. Okay, I paste it, and that should be another comma. So I want to update this part in here, and first of all I want to add that name. So our name will be, I name it as a easy. Okay, I name it as easy e-commerce. So that will be why I'm actually using it. You should be very clear, because we will test it in our Android app. So we'll develop one of the apps, so everything will be more clear. So that will be our name. Okay, so that will be our name. I name it as a easy e-commerce. And for the short name, right now for education purpose, I'm also using that easy e-commerce. Okay, so now there is another one. If you want to add the description, better I want to use another description. So that will be as a description. I want to use that description name, and I name it as a easy learning system. Okay, I make it as a easy e-commerce system. So I make it as easy e-commerce system, and then the comma, and then I also want to use that as a language. So for the language, there by default one of the command as a language, LANG. Okay, so I make it as that will be as English. So I make it as a English. Okay, EN, and then US. So I want to use it, which is totally fine. And then our start URL. So our start URL will be our home URL, right? So our home URL right now, there is our slash. So I want to use that as a slash. So here our home URL, not that comma, I make it as a slash. Okay. And then the display I want to make it as a standalone. So here I want to use it as a default, and theme color. Theme color is important. What type of theme color you want to use? So So here I'm actually using some of the deep blue color. So better I want to use it as a deep blue color. So I have already saved one of the deep blue color. So that will be as a 002E. Okay, so 002E and then 62. So that will be actually our deep blue color, which is totally fine. And also our background color, I want to make it as a white. Okay, background color will be white. And also I want to add another as a orientation. So after this, I take another one that will be as a orientation. Okay, orientation. So orientation, I want to make it as a portrait. Okay, so that will be as a portrait. So I make it as a portrait. As I told you, when I run it, everything will be more clear to you. Okay, so here I use that short name. Our short name will be as Easy E-commerce. Name will be as Easy E-commerce. Description, I name it as Easy E-commerce system. Language as EN. EN, that means the English USA. Our study URL will be as a /. And display will be as a standalone. Orientation will be as a portrait. Okay, so that will be as a portrait view. And then our theme color, I'm actually using that one of the deep blue color, and the background will be as a white. Perfect. So now we have to also update our all that icons. Okay, so here first of all there is a SRC. SRC means that is in our public. So into this public area, I want to save all that our images. If you go to our icons, I want to copy all that icon. Okay, I copy all that icon, and now in our project, so that is our admin, and now I want to go to that user. So into the user, that is a public. So into the public, you can see by default they have some of the images. So that is actually by default some of the images. Okay, so now I want to actually paste it. So I paste this all that icon. So here I simply paste all that our icon as a 72, 96, 128, 144, 192, and then 512. Okay, so that is on the square size as a 512 by 512, which is totally fine. So I simply load it. So now I want to update it. So that will be as a SRC. SRC, that is into the same folder. You can see that is into the same folder. So first of all, I want to name it. I name it as a 72. You can name whatever actually you choose. So right now, for better understanding, I make it as a 72. So our SRC will be as a 72. Okay, 72, and then .png. Okay, so that is our extension as a 72.png, which is totally fine. And our size I have already discussed about that things with you. Our size is if you go there, our size is as a 72 by 72, right? And for the 96, that is a 90. For the 96, that is a 96 by 96, which is totally fine. So now I'm going to use it as that will be as a 72. Okay, 72 x 72. So I make it as a x and then 72, which is totally fine. So there is a one image. I want to make it as a this. That will be our size, and type will be as an image. And the image and our type is actually the PNG, right? So that will be not X icon. So that will be as a /PNG, which is totally fine. Perfect. So now I want to do the same things. Better I copy it. Okay, I copy it because here they have so many images. I paste it, and also there is another one. I paste it. Okay, so there is another one. I paste it. So I also want to add all that our images. So for the last one here, that should be not any comma. Okay, now you can see our arrow is also totally gone. So first of all, there is a 72 and then the 96. So I want to use that 96, and our resolution will be as a 96 by 96, right? So that will be the 96 by 96, and image type will be as a PNG, which is totally fine. Then the 120. So I want to use that 120.png. So that will be as a 120 by 120. So that will be our size. And then type will be images, and then the 128. I make it as a 128, and then that will be as a 128 by 128, right? And then same, then 144. I want to make it as a 144 and then 144. Okay. So I hope you understand that part. Only we have to add that our images, then 152. So I make it as a 152, and then that will be as a 152, and then the 152. Okay, and then the 180. So I make it as a 180. sorry, that will be 180, and that our size will be 180 by 180. Perfect. And then 192, so I make it as a, that will be the 192 by 192. Okay, so that will be our sizes. And then 384, I make it as a 384, and then that will be as a 384 by size, as a 384 by 384. And then also last one as a 512, I make it as a 5, okay, 512. So that will be as a 512 by 512. Perfect. So rest of this will be not needed. I want to remove it, and also I remove this comma. Okay, I remove this comma, which is totally fine. So I hope, friend, you well understand about it. So here I simply loaded all that our images. I loaded that our theme, that is our apps will be, our apps short name will be as Easy Ecommerce. So when I run it, I will also test it. Okay, friends. So I will test it, then everything will be more clear. So I simply updated our main feast JSON. So here I simply updated all that our apps related everything in here. So now I want to make it as a save all. So friend, now we have to actually update our this main phase.json in our this public, there is another file as index.html. So here also we have to support something. So how can do that work? In our next video, I will show you that things with the live example.